when we started Waking the World Medicine, in fact, even I think before we started, we were asked to think about our intention, why we were doing this, and what we were hoping to get from it, or what our longing was when it came to this program. And I realized that my longing, and this is very me, this won't be everybody's, but my longing was to stand naked and tall in my truth while others watched. And I don't necessarily mean literally naked, but to be able to stand in my naked truth and have that witnessed by others felt like a really important experience and seeing for me. And those are the words that came to me as I started the crucible. I almost didn't know what that would then create, and I can say more about that in a minute, but I was sure that was something I needed, to be seen by others in that way, so that I could then see myself clearly, perhaps for the first time, as it happened. That is what happened. So, as I've said, like, a huge part of this program is sitting in circle with others, and it's hard to express what that can do. I'm getting tingles now thinking about it. The power of that circle was completely mind-blowing, in that we were all sitting in our own bedrooms like I am now, or wherever we were, in our garden shed or wherever we were, and we were online with each other. Yet again, this is where I have the tingles, it literally felt like we were just sitting around a fire together, or not just sitting, we were sitting around a fire together. And again, this is something that's really hard to maybe to understand fully unless you've done it, but week on week, the strength of that circle and the magical energetic that it held got stronger and stronger and stronger. And because of its strength, it was like it drew each of us closer and closer into the fire, so we could be seen more and more clearly, and we all shone more and more brightly. And in that shining more brightly, it became easier and easier to see each of the individual faces and their associated gifts, which became more and more contrasted with one another. And that contrast made it easier for us individuals to therefore see our unique gifts. And through that being seen, I learned an unbelievable amount about who I am and what I'm here to do. It became so apparent that there's now no going back and changing that. That light has been illuminated. The fire has been lit, and there's no putting it out now. And Waking the World Medicine did that. The biggest takeaway for me from Waking the World Medicine was to do with one of my gifts, part of my medicine, and that is Waking the World Medicine gave me a sense of my power. And for me, that was huge, because without going into too much detail, I'm someone who's struggled in the past with my energy, like feeling just huge amounts of energy moving through my system, not quite knowing what to do with it, often wielding it, not always for good. And for me, that had been a thorn in my side for so many years. Just like something I just couldn't quite understand and tried to manage, but had never successfully managed. And the reason it's such a big takeaway for me is that to realize that energy is actually power that I can wield for good now that I understand it better. And I understand it in the context of my other gifts. And this will become clear if you do Waking the World Medicine, that it's not just, you don't just have one gift, there tend to be several that complement each other and create your own unique medicine that you both administer to yourself, but also can administer in the world for the highest good of everybody and all beings. For me to realize that the thing that had been a thorn in my side and that I had struggled with in so many different ways was actually a gift, like a gift to me, a gift to the world. It brings tears to my eyes now, because it's like realizing that what you thought was negative about you and something to be pushed down and ignored as best you can, so that you can fit in with what seems out there to be the norm. To realize that actually that's something very special and something that fully understood and paid attention to and nurtured can actually be a real force for good in the world. For me personally, was a really, it was just a huge turning point in my life. And Waking the World Medicine did that for me.